Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. That was a 2-day pause. Let's get back into it. I stood up and walked deeper into the god, and I followed her in silence. Yep, she went back here. Eventually, I reached the bench. And I quietly sat down, and like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain?
I mean, you don't have to explain it, I just explained how it happened.
Well, actually, you got most of it right.
Oh, go me! Sigma is much smarter than I am, because I did not piece most of that together. Actually, that's not entirely true. I did get that Dio, or... I actually thought Kay was trying to kill Dio, not the other way around. But Kay would have tried to get Dio. He was getting to the bottom of the same question. With the Luminol. I definitely did not call the Timioji and Clover. That's who it was. I was like, who was the other person? That doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door. Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
Makes sense. Oh, it sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily. But that's because Zero Jr. lured him here. Dio wasn't a surprise.
Interesting.
Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they let him come?
In a way. Because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
Was that purely in order to, because we kind of talked about that before, how the death of the woman and also the bombs that Dio brought kind of put an air of tension into the game that wouldn't have otherwise existed. So the Zeros wanted that tension. They wanted the explosive result, because otherwise I do think there was a decent chance that people would just ally forever and then everyone would leave. We learned from 999 that the presence of danger is an important part of that was, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the same thing. They needed an element of danger. That's also probably why they intentionally didn't tell about the rule of people dying until after the first round of voting.
I can't go into that right now. We'd be here forever.
That's okay. I got time.
Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
Why did he come in? Well, we know that because he's trying to shut down the experiment for Free the Soul.
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put a bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms.
5th and 6th?
Counting from the left in their original placement.
Or the rightmost room would be the 6th room, and next to it would be the 5th?
Right. After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What happened to the old woman's body then?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything.
We found it in the room, but where did he hide it in the meantime? Because obviously it wasn't in there when Quark woke up.
My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room. I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered. Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Well, in that one, why would you even want to be honest? Suja controls everything. And was he the one who moved the 6th room with the crane?
Yes, that's right. Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
And who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Why? And why didn't Dio... Oh, Dio and Core... Wait, what was Dio been thinking whenever he came out and the woman's body was gone? Do that.
Because I was ordered to.
Luna, listen to me very carefully.
Interesting.
As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours.
Is the old woman Zero?
This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure.
I do have to admit, if she's Zero, that's something I never considered. I never thought the old woman might be Zero.
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the Nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
I was gonna say, if she just has to observe, why would she be a player at all?
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am. Will you be participating as well?
Yes. Our plan dictates that I must. An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes. He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place.
Wow. Okay, that puts a whole new twist on it. How fanatical must these people be? Just let themselves get murdered.
If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
Wait, we're all infected?
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
I mean, that is kind of what happens to robots.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order.
An order?
Sorry,
reference to this area.
And you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
Yes.
Good. Now, I have one final order.
Another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you are about to enter. The 6th AB room.
Okay, so Luna doesn't even know that she's intentionally going to let it be her.
But... why?
Not your concern. As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data.
That makes sense, although it's annoying.
There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know, which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants. You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room. You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Yes.
Alright, well that certainly clears that up.
Do I make myself clear?
I feel like they could have gotten the same effect by just kidnapping Dio the same as they kidnapped everyone else. I don't know why they let Dio come in and then murder this person.
Yes. After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake.
Yeah, but you got to see Dio come in and murder the old woman. What's her name, by the way?
So I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
Oh, the old woman being murdered.
Yes. It was hard.
I imagine it would be.
What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed.
I mean, does fail just mean you were confused, or
To think that she would be the first person to come out.
knowing what would happen?
I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her.
I mean, yeah, she just said as much, so we know that she knew that as well.
When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant.
Oh, that is very, yeah, there's a double meaning there.
Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do.
Well, how would you have possibly known that?
When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
And if I don't have a heart, then what is broken? I think I understand. Everything you did because you've been ordered to. The Nuremberg defense. I don't know if that really applies to machines, because they literally don't have a choice. You know, you don't hold an AK-47 up for war crime.
Yes.
The old woman who gave you those orders? And is she Zero Senior?
No. She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
Okay, that would be really weird if Zero Senior had died as soon as the game began.
Yes.
Was it me? Was it Kay?
Yes. They worked together to develop the project she mentioned.
Actually, Tenmyoji's the best. Well, I would say Tenmyoji's the best person to suspect for it, except for the fact that Tenmyoji was very worked up and concerned and confused about the fact she'd been murdered, which was apparently in the plan the whole time. He could have been acting, I guess.
So I suppose, technically, my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Jr., too. I told you before that Zero Jr. moved the 6th AB room.
You did. I listened to you.
Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me. I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
When people suspect you, why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually, we'd figure out the rooms had been moved, and that she was in your room.
Then, maybe they wanted the opposite.
Maybe they just wanted to, again, cause infighting amongst the participants. Because that seems to be the whole point, is you need a volatile situation in order for the experiment to work.
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That makes sense either. Why do people suspect? Why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me. Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
They saw a new deal would hide the knife there?
Yes, I think so. Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved.
Yep, because Alice is a smart cookie.
Which meant that Clover also figured it out.
Because Clover is a smart cookie.
And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life. Clover didn't realize that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet. So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game.
Yeah, we kind of knew this was happening at the time.
Using Phi's timetable, that would be 0 hours, 0 minutes.
You were listening to us in the security office?
Yes, that wasn't all I was listening to, though.
Yeah, she could probably watch all 9 of us at all times. Well, 8. She presumably is not watching herself on security feeds.
I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed. Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I imagine she was, yeah.
I know you killed Alice. Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance. If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
I told her the truth, of course.
Because, yeah, that's what Luna does. Luna is endlessly truthful and wholesome.
I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself. Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved.
But yeah, Clover had also figured that out.
She wasn't very nice about it.
I freaking love Luna.
But I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience.
Well, I mean, she didn't have that in long supply anyway.
She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun. I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course. While we were fighting over it,
Trigger got pulled in the fight, I get that part. What I don't understand is, why did it do anything to you?
You mean because I'm a golem? One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
That's why you, died? You had the facade that you were human?
No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again.
Wow. What's the point of having orders if Zero Jr. is going to come in and be like, and you're following the order by my command?
He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders, too.
That makes sense, yeah.
So to make it look like I had died, he'd turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me. She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
How can you be sure about that?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that?
Yeah, that does certainly make sense.
After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes,
That uses electric shock to restart the heart, right?
correct.
That's why she left.
Yes.
0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds. Clover left the cabin with crew quarters.
She ran off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio. Yes, I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
You just watched her go by?
Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course.
Of course, he's Dio.
He probably wondered what she was doing. But he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
Here I was 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body. It didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Yeah, that's also something Dio would do. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it would. What do you do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door.
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
I already taken it by then.
Yes, but there was something else he wanted to do too. He was there to take the knife. Removing it was gruesome.
But why do you want the knife? Well, I mean, you're in an area where people are killing themselves. Having a knife is probably helpful. You'd use it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so. I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Why would you want anyone to see that?
Do you remember what it said?
I do not.
There was a word engraved on the blade.
Myrmidons. Well, if he doesn't want anyone seeing it, why the hell would he bring that knife to begin with? He knows he's going to kill someone when he gets here.
Yes.
What does Myrmidons mean? You already know the answer to this, Sigma.
It's the name of the organization he belongs to. I don't think so. I don't really know.
I don't know. That's odd, because they know I already know this information in order to get to this point. No idea.
I'm afraid not.
Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then... Doesn't that mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, like they definitely seem to... If the organization is funding Free the Soul, a cult movement, it sounds like they want the spread of Radical 6.
He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
Well, you've got a point there. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Oh, this is not Luna talking. Luna said that he didn't seem to look for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if she had anything useful. That was when he found the key to Kay's suit. Didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it. At least as far as Luna could tell. 0 hours 13 minutes, Dio leaves the room.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out. When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Okay.
Hey, wait. Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna?
Interesting.
And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
Poor Clover. Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said. They began to fight.
The fuck do you think you're doing?
He pulled a knife out of his pocket and pointed at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up.
Dio, what the hell are you doing? None of your goddamn... Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
And this is why he handcuffs it together. The yell lipped toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with a knife. He just caught Dio's hand with a grunt. For a moment, the two men struggled. The knife edged closer. He wrapped his other hand around the blade and tried to force it away. Dio was a much younger and stronger man. The wounded Tenioji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. In the valiant fight, with a roar, Dio threw him off. Tenioji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this?
Man, this is the most brutal Dio's been that we've actually seen.
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
No. Nothing so tasteless.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live. But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Yep, because you guys are linked up with Luna. Aren't you sad you killed Luna, Clover?
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream. Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
I'm surprised he even gave them the option to scream for help.
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
I mean, me, Phi, and Kay, right?
Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point.
They had told us about you. I also noticed the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. Well, we'd know what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyoji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed...
So this almost feels like the end of the game, but I know there is still the Zero Bomb pathway to go down.
Both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil. Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy.
Well, that is what Soparil does.
I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message. Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
The word she wrote was Dio.
Yes. As for what happened in the rec room...
So that's actually really interesting, only because in the very first Danganronpa, they have a puzzle that involves numbers actually being a word inverted, that you realize instantaneously what it actually is. This one was much better handled, so I didn't see immediately through it.
Well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct. What you said was what happened.
Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol. While his back was turned, Dio attacked it with the axe. Morley wounded him, but didn't kill him. He turned around and stabbed Dio with the spear. Guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
When did Kay get the luminol, though?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
That's when he found the luminol.
Right.
Wow.
That's everything that happened. Do you have any questions?
Where's the number 0 bomb? Huh? What do you think? Was a bear shit in the woods? First thing is Quark's bracelet. Oh, that's also real good. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyoji had it.
Is that what they were talking about? How you can actually use the pod in order to make someone's heart slow to the point where the system will think they're dead?
Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
Why did Tenmyoji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was. Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Tenmyoji?
Vaguely. Yeah, when he sprayed us with Luminol, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him. Look, Tenmyoji, the center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
That was the treatment room, right?
Yes,
Where Quark was sleeping?
right. It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying. Yes, the display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Tenmyoji got it.
But why was the bracelet off?
I took it off. Aluminum foil.
I mean, the stuff on the crew. Wait, really?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
I definitely did not.
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that. They're always watching.
I mean, the foil can block the electronic waves your heart sends out?
Yes. All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
Bracelet thinks your heart is stopped?
Yes.
Was that easy all along?
Anyway, I used some aluminum foil to get Quark's bracelet off. Then I put it next to the pod.
Why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there. Remember when we were first looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
Carried him to the treatment pod.
Yes.
You're the one that unlocked the treatment center as well?
No, I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
Interesting.
That's right.
You activated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? He's doing as Zero Senior said the old lady told him to do. Everything leads back to them, huh? We're gonna find out who Zero Senior actually is? Is he gonna tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't it obvious? I mean, what this project is. Everything that happens here has something to do with it. Why were we brought in here?
To play the nonary game.
And what does that do?
That was part of the project.
God damn it! Well, Radical 6.
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that. It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally, killed me. I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body.
Okay, but that's...
That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Tenmyoji died for the project?
Yes.
Well, actually, it was Turbo Curing that killed them. They were only injected because of their bracelets. We're only wearing those bracelets because of the nonary game. The nonary game is part of the project. That's one more way it killed them.
I guess. If you want to look at it that way.
What about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other? Well, yeah, that is the big question. What is Kay's reaction, like, relation to the old woman?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
If you hadn't killed the old lady, the rec room would have never taken place either, right?
Yes.
Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
Yeah, we already know all this. Sigma, ask the real question. Who is Zero Senior?
To disrupt the project.
Why did she let him kill her?
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Six people died. Four of them were murdered one way or another by Dio. First, that makes me like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true. All of them. All six of them died for this project. That means the murderer, or I guess the murderers, are the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Tell me, what is this project about? Who's Zero?
Sigma. Would you hug me?
The project's about love? What? Instead of answering, she wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. Her arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. Bad! I swallowed hard, tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. I think I felt something warm on my chest. Isn't it crying?
This feels nice.
I feel like she's about to die somehow. Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair. Luna? What's going on?
I'm sorry. My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fiber. But after Clover gave me the tubocurarine...
I get it.
Does it scare you? This is what I really look like. I'm a golem.
So why did this keep perfectly together until right now?
Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
I wrapped my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time. Even though I look like this?
Well, yeah, it's not what you appear, it's the way you act. I trust you, Luna.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I wish I could stay here forever.
I mean, we kind of can.
You feel so nice. But I think my time is up. I've done things I really shouldn't have. Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body? Remember? The truth is, he didn't.
Then why has he not acted on the fact that you did that this whole time?
I did. I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr., and I hacked it. Yes, that was the first thing. The second. Do you know what the second one was?
You told me all the stuff you just told me?
If I had really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Tenmyoji. Then Kay and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself, and I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning.
If you just hacked into it?
In other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders. But I didn't.
Well, no, I mean, that goes completely against everything you're programmed to do. So of course you're not going to just decide to disobey your core directive.
That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die. Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Junior's systems is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course, but everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted.
Oh, that sucks. So yeah, Luna is going to, like, legitimately die. Wait, are you saying...
Very soon now I'll be gone. Zero Junior is probably recovering himself right now. Once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer.
Why?
I watched 6 people die and did nothing. I deserve this.
Should they actually show it flaking and falling? No, you don't. If you had done, you would have been killed anyway. I can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong.
Oh, Sigma. Thank you. I'm really glad I met you.
It's going to be okay. Just tell me who Zero Senior is real quick. I'm not gonna let them do this. It'll be fine, I promise. Just please don't.
Sorry. My time's up. At least I get to die in your arms. Thank you.
I do have to say that this happening right here is just weirdly, like, how many hours have gone by since that happened, and all of a sudden now it's all occurring?
Sigma. And goodbye.
This is weirdly the most impactful death they've shown the entire game, probably because we actually were here to see it.
Doctor.
Doctor? Couldn't answer. Squeezed my eyes shut and held her, while to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. One last quiet chime. The big box wound down. Left with nothing but silence. A cold pool of tears over my heart. Luna end. So we never found out where the Zero Bomb is. That sucks. Now we just have Phi's ending. So I can try betraying here. See if that leads me to the bomb. Because that's the problem. The only ones we haven't done is that betrayal, and that betrayal. The Zero Bomb. Wait a minute. Apparently I learned where it was at some point. I don't remember this, but this definitely turned green. So next time we go down that route. Look forward to it, guys. I know I am.